I did that one. I definitely did that.
You did that one? That's like, this is how people used to smile. They'd go,
Oh my God.
I thought the prettiest girls would smile like that. They'd like raise their eyebrows, go absolutely dead in the eyes, and just activate their muscles. And that's how they'd go.
Yeah. And until like high school, I would go,
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
I don't know why.
Did you not like your teeth smile?
I know, like I had braces in middle school and I got them taken off and I just still wasn't showing them off. I was like,
I don't smile with my teeth today.
Oh, really?
Like I do smile like in my daily life when I'm like talking and stuff. But if I'm posing for like a photo, usually I do like a little
smize.
I do like a little like side smile, like
a little smirk.
A little bit of that because I have like this cutie little dimple that I feel like looks nice.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts.
I'm trying. Oh no!
I drank a huge coffee.
Oh, and coffee affects you.
And it's inside of me.
Oh, it's brewing.
Good morning, Los Angeles, and all the farts.
If you didn't already pick up on what we were doing, we are posing like we used to, back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely more than just the peace sign.
There was this, there was...
What else did like people hold up with their hands? Like there were other like signs, right?
Didn't people... I'm gonna end up throwing up like a gang sign.
Yeah, right? Actually, you know what's so funny is
that was one too.
Oh, that? Like to the side?
Sideways, yeah.
Interesting.
I never did that.
Okay, so something that I've realized that I do so often is that I do 2 thumbs up to people all the time.
Wait, what?
I literally, like, honestly, you can ask Dustin because I'm sure that I've done it to him too. Like, I'll end up doing it a lot of the times to like, you know, like maybe people that I don't know as well, like people that aren't my best friends. Like when Fabian's parents are here, the thumbs up comes out so many times. Every time they're like, Arasha, would you like that? And I'm like, I'm good with that.
Thumbs
and I'm
up
like,
is hilarious.
What am I doing? I do it so often. I'm like, that's perfect. Or I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Yay. And I'm like, I look like I'm belittling people, being like, yeah. And that's not my intention. I'm just genuinely being like, I'm good. I'm perfect over here. Yeah. I'm great. Can't you tell?
That's funny. I don't know if you know what, I don't do that a lot, but I do this a lot, which I think is like, I just mean like the A-okay. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and I'm like, I end up doing that a lot. But the thumbs up, I remember specifically, there was this pose that these girls would do in middle school. And I never did the pose because I didn't like these girls. So I was like, I would never want to be like them. But they would like, I wish I could like stand up, but they would like bend forward, pop a hip out, like turn with all their might to the side and do like a sideways like
this
thumb.
Is insane. I've never seen this.
It was literally like,
huh.
Oh my God, the way.
Oh, you know what? This too, the heart.
Oh my God, this.
These were huge. Did you ever do the like? Oh my gosh! Wait. Did you ever do the like? It was like an app, I think, on the iPhone.
Wow.
Where you like made the heart with like you like had to do all the different like parts of it, and then like making it, you were like, oh my God, this is crazy big.
Yeah, I did everything. I did the cam wow. I did the picnic. That's I think it was like PIKNIK, like picnic.
Mm-hmm.
I would like literally get on there, which is like essentially like Canva, I feel like it is now to us.
Yes.
And like it was like you would edit photos. I would put a photo in and I would turn up every thing. I'd be like, saturation, forget about it. Just like sharpness, so sharp. And then this, like, you can't even see, it's blinding.
No, oh my gosh, literally this is actually unraveling so much for me just immediately. Because did you ever use the software on Facebook where you could edit collages and stuff? Oh my gosh, I'm literally being unlocked right now. I don't remember what it's called, but when I was probably either in like 5th or 6th grade, I was obsessed with making these collages of me and my friends and just pasting sisters on top of it. Like I would literally put all of us in there sisters? And I'd put sister. Yeah. I'd be like sisters. And then I'd do like the dash and the 3.
Yeah.
And then I'd do the dash and the 3 or the smiley face. Like so cringy. But I did those daily. My friends were probably like, this loser. I'm not her sister. I'm not her friend.
Sisters. First of all, I do the less than 3 all the time till this day. That's how you know I'm like sending you like a real heart. Like
it's
I
cutie.
typed it out. It is cutie. But oh my God, the 2000s were a crazy time. There's so much to unravel. The culture of it was just so different. How about this? This is, okay, humiliating, Oh God, I would like. We kind of touched on this in an episode recently about liking, like for a whatever, right?
Yeah.
And-
Oh yeah, the rate, date, hate, and stuff.
Right. And so literally, like, I remember I used to post and I'd be like for a video on your wall.
Oh.
And I took them really seriously, like the videos that I would make. Because there was this girl I looked up to, and I'm going to refrain from using her name, but I literally thought she was so cool, and I definitely wanted to be her with, like, everything in me. That was probably a gay thing.
Right.
But she used to, like, post, like, she would, like, film herself, like, going in the dryer, but she would, like...
Herself?
Yeah, like, she'd, like, put herself, like, in the dryer, but it was so, like, quirky. Like, I remember she'd, like, wear sweatpants, and she'd be like, I'm in the dryer. Like, oh my God. Like,
no,
I'm
get out of there.
She's like, I'm so small. Like, I fit in the dryer.
Oh my God.
And like me, like my 13-year-old self was like, I literally anything that anyone did, like if it ended up on Tumblr or was just kind of quirky and cool, like I was like, that's awesome.
Tumblr.
So I remember like she would do that like for a video on your wall, and like half the time it was always her in the dryer. I don't know why.
That is insane.
She's like,
behavior.
day 4 in the dryer. Someone come get me.
No, get out of there, girl.
And so I think I like literally like did like a video. Like she liked it, and I like went to put a video on her wall, and I like literally like filmed it near my dryer. But like I had like
that is
like,
foul.
Not like I had like a dryer that opened from the top, and I was like at my dryer.
Okay, I have to tell you though that I'm triggered by like for a video on your wall or whatever. I'm going to tell this story because this is truly some trauma for me.
Oh God.
There were these 2 girls in my middle and high school, but this was in middle school for sure. And hello?
Hey.
And hey, they did like for a video from both of us or whatever, right?
Oh God.
So
hey loser.
Hey smelly.
Hey stinky freak.
No, it's worse. So I liked the video obviously, and like one of my other friends had liked it as well. And I went over to my other friend's wall to watch the video that they made for her. And I clicked on it, and I was like watching this video, and in the middle of the video, they received the notification that I liked their video.
Oh.
And in the video, one of them goes, "Oh my God, Arasha liked our video." And they both started laughing. And then the other one goes, like, still laughing. She's like, "That's so mean. Stop." And then they were like, no, we love Arasha. We love Arasha. No, we love her. We love her. And I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, we remember, bitch.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad you bring that up because I would like to say something. Cyberbullying is absolutely real, and it's 1,000% like even like it's horrible. And I remember when we were like in middle school, high school, this was like when the idea of like, is cyberbullying real was like a conversation. I remember, I think there's like a famous Tyler, the Creator, like quote where he's like, "What is cyberbullying? Just log off." And it's like, it's so not true though. It's like, I felt, because I was cyberbullied, and it's like, it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling to be cyberbullied, as it is to be bullied all the time, right? But it's like, you have people that you're growing up with at your school, that you go to school with or whatever, and they have full access to 24/7 tormenting of you, and they can publicly do it so everyone can like see it. Yeah. So it's like not even just one thing, like those girls could have easily just been mean to you in class one day, but like they put it out there so everyone could see the humiliation.
Definitely.
And like, I remember one time there was this boy that used to bully the shit out of me in high school. And he was such a lame loser. And he would always be like I remember the first time he like subtweeted me, if you remember this. It was because I play the guitar and I sing. That's my thing. Yeah. And literally like he made fun of me for it endlessly. And I was like, okay. And I remember he tweeted something mean about me, and I didn't even know who he was. I did not even know of his existence. until all of a sudden he tweeted something mean about me. And I was like, who the heck is this? And I just remember he tweeted it and it got like 45 likes. And I remember scrolling through the likes and it was like all my friends. Like it was like people in my class and friends. And it was just something about him making fun of like literally like Rowan sucks at singing, give up, like something like that. And literally like I remember I went to school and for the first time in my life, I felt teeny tiny because I was like walking by all these people that I knew had like liked this mean tweet about me that was completely unsolicited.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this feeling is horrible.
It sucks. It literally just like, it feels like you're like, there's one side of it where you can feel invisible and you're like, nobody cares and nobody is seeing me. But then there's also the other side of people are staring at me like I am a clown, like I am an alien, like I'm some other. And for me, like that was incredibly dramatic because I was also one of very few women of color in my school.
Yeah.
Like I grew up I went to public school in Texas. So there wasn't a ton of diversity as well. So it really made me feel like an outsider watching these two white women like laugh that I liked this Facebook post of theirs or whatever.
That is so insane.
It was crazy. But again, like, of course, it's like it's dark and it sucks and stuff like that. And I hate to say this too, but I was like used to that behavior. Like I laugh about it now because I genuinely don't find any like I feel like I have healed and recovered from all of that. But also because I know where they are now. Yeah. And it's kind of just still living in the shadow of who they were as kids. So it's kind of like I'm past that. Yeah. It's funny too because this has happened a handful of times where people who I have experiences that are similar like that have reached out to me and have said something similar to, oh my gosh, Smosh. Right. Or like, whoa, hey, I always knew you were going to be big. Or like, oh my gosh, I called it. When we were kids, you were going to be huge.
You're like, you were bullying me.
I was like, yeah, no, you did call me huge. You're right. You're right.
Isn't it funny how that works? No, yeah, it's like, I really do think that if you are someone who like intentionally makes it your like objective to bully people in your free time, it's a sign of low intelligence and you're just a big freak loser.
And also insecurity, right? Like directly of what that guy was tweeting about you. Like, okay, King, go ahead and sing. Go ahead and put yourself out there.
Well, I also was like, I don't have to be good. You don't have to think I'm good. I'm literally just playing guitar in my room so that I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, kids don't have the wherewithal to understand that you can do whatever you want and you don't have to judge others for it. You don't have to comment on it. You don't have to be like, that's weird and that's ugly and that person is this and that person is that. Like, you can just exist. And I mean, obviously, when kids do it, a lot of the times it's because they have seen their parents do it or whatever guardian they are with exhibit that kind of behavior. Yeah. So if your parents are judgmental, a lot of the times it can pass on. So then you go to school, you look at your peers, and then you're able to be like, I don't like her outfit, and he's this, and they're that, and whatever.
Yeah. There were times in my life, listen, I'm not perfect, and I certainly can be a big bitch a lot of the time, but like, there were like times in my life where I know this sounds insane, but I almost was like, well, everyone's bullying everyone. Should I do that? Which is like so just not what I enjoy. Like I was always like the kid in school who was like, if I could, I would try to like stand up for someone if I saw them being bullied. But like I remember like when I started getting like cyberbullied, there was like this one girl that I grew up cheering with and whatever, and she was just so disturbed. Like now that I look back on it, I'm like, you have issues. But everyone used to always call her Chipmunk because she like had like honestly these cutie like big cheeks like and whatever. But that was like the only like round of ammo or whatever like it felt like everyone had, which of course is just like aimless like name calling. But she was so mean to me all the time. She was so mean to me. So I remember like the one time I ever like was like, you know what, I'm gonna get in on cyberbullying. Like I'm gonna be, you know, because I was like a kid at the time and I was like, whatever. So my big like intro into purposefully bullying was she had been tweeting mean shit about me. So I just tweeted the chipmunk emoji. And then I literally immediately regretted it because I was like, that's so mean. So I literally went on to tweet like 20 more tweets directly after each other of all the animal emojis. And then I literally think I followed it up with a tweet that was like, my zoo.
Stop.
It's my Twitter zoo.
My zoo is funny.
And then she literally screenshotted it and was like, I saw this bitch. And I literally was like, it's my zoo.
Right.
Like, I just was like, I can't bring myself. It's, you know what? It's too stressful to be mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't keep up with it.
But that's a testament, right? To like, I'm sure that a lot of people have gone through this. Like, because there is a stark difference between being a consistent bully, like actually continuously hurting someone or someone's, versus like fighting back at some point or like being mean back for a second because it's like, oh, this feels good for a second. It's not about me. I get to be on the other side. And then immediately you're like, actually, that's not who I am and that's not what I want to be. I'm sure that was also my experience. I mean, I definitely remember like laughing at a couple of things like at other people's expense and then just being like, well, that sucked. Like I did that so that I could try to make myself feel better. And instead I just was like, I don't want to hurt another person. I know exactly what they're feeling. Like that's not who I am. I guess I'll just stick to being at the bottom of this totem pole.
I've always felt, I'm like, I'd rather take the brunt of it than be the person that is like eliciting pain. But like at the same time, again, it's like we all mess up. We get bitchy. We have moments. I think like having moments is different than like having traits. Like you have mean moments versus you have mean traits about you or whatever. Like it's not to say like me and Arasha aren't big fat haters sometimes, but like it's all within the confines of like what's harmless and what's harmful. And it's like if you're like out there deliberately being like, I have to make other people feel bad to feel better about myself, it's like you should get help.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's actually so interesting because I was just talking to one of the kids that I work with. And she's a lot older, actually. This one's in 6th grade. But the other day I was like, I was hanging out with her and we were talking and she was like, I was like, how are you? And she was like, I'm annoyed. And I was like, oh, like, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it? And she was like, there's this girl and like, she's so mean and, you know, she did this to me and whatever. And like, I have all these angry feelings and like, I'm really annoyed. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, do you want to tell me about it? Like, do you want to talk about it some more? Like, maybe that'll help you get it out. And she was like, well, like, I'm feeling really guilty because like I wrote in my journal about it. And she was like, but I said like really mean things in my journal. And I was like, that's okay, queen. Like, that's private. That's for you to kind of like vent out. And I literally told her about the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody episode where they're like, Maddie, write a mean letter out to Mr. Mosby. Just don't send it, but you'll have all of your feelings out there. And she was like, yeah, like I'm going to like write in my journal or whatever. So she's like writing. And then she was like, can I say this out loud to you? Oh my God. And I was like, yeah, I love being a little hater. Let's do it. It was so funny. She like tells me like everything that's inside of this stuff and whatever. And she's like, this is where it gets kind of mean. It's about her outfit. And I was like, tell me.
Yeah, you're like, period, queen.
Yeah.
What Uggo is she wearing?
Right. No, and she popped off. She was like, miniskirt, like literally popping off on this girl. And I was like, I am obsessed with that. And I was like, do you feel better? And she was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, and that's totally fine. And you know why? Because you're not harming anybody in the process. Yeah. You're seeking somebody that you trust, that you want some support from. We are talking about it. Like, you're just ranting out your feelings, which you are completely allowed to do. Yeah. It's completely different if you were to go up to that person and be like, let me tell you about your fit. Yeah. And it's like, that is actually hurting someone to make yourself feel better. But this is a more like private, individualized approach to making yourself not feel as bad.
Yeah, I've done the letter writing thing. I remember one time my brother made me upset, and so I wrote a letter to him on PictoChat on my Nintendo DS. That's like how young I was, and I remember I took it to my mom, and I was like, "Can I read this to you?" But it was like obviously PictoChat, so I think there were like 48 characters. So I was like, "Mean brother, you stink," and then I was like, "Oh God, Mom, I'm sorry, I said all that."
Literally immediately me getting mad and then being like, sorry.
You know what's funny is that I wait, that's actually something we should bring up what we were talking about at dinner last night in a moment. But I remember even when I was a kid, I was like a young kid, because I moved around a ton. I've said this before, and I always like was on the pursuit of like trying to make friends. And I remember like even in my young years of like first grade, second grade, third grade, when a kid would be like really mean to me, like I remember being like conscious of the idea where I was like, why are you being mean? We're like just children.
Yeah.
Like what has made you this mean? Like you're like 10 years old. What has jaded you so much that you feel the need to like exclude me on the playground?
And you know what? It's interesting too, because you can actually use the tactic of saying that language as adults to adults. Like if somebody does make a jab at me at work, I have been using the line like, you don't have to be mean.
Exactly. Because that brings out an inner child. They're like, oh.
They're like, oh no, I wasn't being mean. And you're like, that is exactly what you were doing. Or you're like, oh, okay, so you want to be mean right now.
Yeah.
Like calling people out on that. And again, in a way that's not, you're not being mean. You're just simply like checking someone. There's a way to be like, hey, so are you trying to help or harm right now?
You're so right. Like another one that's always good is I don't appreciate being spoken to like this. Like that's another way. Like, because a lot of times when people like come at you this way and you come right back at them, it's so counterproductive. But if they come at you and you take a moment to like diffuse it with just like a simple thing of being like, hey, what's going on that's making you speak to me like this or whatever. Obviously, it's hard to do that. Like in the moment, but it is so much more effective because you're either going to get one or two reactions. You're going to get, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why I'm speaking to you like that. I'm just frustrated or whatever. Or you're going to get someone that's like, okay. Yeah. And they think like you think you're better than them because you're diffusing the situation like in a mature way. And if they can't handle that, then they can go.
And you're absolutely right that it's a power move. Because you are diffusing the situation, you're taking control of it, and that is, in a way, it can be threatening. But you're also showing that person what you just threw at me is ricocheting right off.
Right.
I'm not going to internalize your comment. I'm not going to be like, wow, that really hurt. Like, it might, but instead I'm going to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm an adult with some coping tools, and I'm just going to give that right back to you. And why did you do that?
Yeah. But on the other side of things, you know what's a fun phrase that you can say to people, like if they actually are just like making you feel any type of way that will make them feel like, oh, is if you just go, why are you being so weird right now? They'll be like, oh.
Yeah. Or I've heard too, like repeating back, saying exactly what they said again, like with a question mark at the end. And then they're like,
oh, yeah. Or saying that was a weird thing to say out loud.
Yeah.
If
I wouldn't say that.
If someone ever said that to me, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
you question yourself.
I know. Listen, it's hard. I'm constantly at odds with myself where I'm literally like, there's times where I'm faced with like, situations where it's like obviously my instinct is I want to be like, you weird freak, why are you being like this? But at the same time it's like it is counterproductive because then you're just feeding into the behavior that you didn't like in the first place.
I want to grab from your PictoChat story the Nintendo DS aspect because that's a great way to loop it back around too.
Yeah, sorry we were talking about bullying. Let's get back to the fun stuff.
That was a huge part of the 2000s. I think that's huge. But within Nintendo DS, I have to tell you a funny story. I don't think I've told you this before, but I remember so clearly the day that my brother and I both got Nintendo DS's. We went to the store, and I remember my brother wanted to get not only a Nintendo DS, but also like the Legend of Zelda game.
Sure.
I think it was Wind Waker at the time, or it might have been the one even before that.
I think I played Wind Waker on like the PS2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, he wanted, I needed the DS and he wanted the DS and the game. Selfish.
Well, you need a game.
No, you need the game. I didn't have a game. So we go to the store and my brother's like, I want that silver DS. Or I think he got the red one. And I was like, I want the pink one.
Did you get the thick one or was this when it was like the next version that was kind of like thinner and glossier?
It was thinner and glossier. I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
That's what I had.
Yeah. So I went over and I picked the pink one. My brother picks it, whatever. And then the GameStop that we had gone to, which GameStop, huge, 2000s.
Right.
But there was like a sale or like a deal that they were having that if you bought the Legend of Zelda game, it came with a gold DS. So my mom was like, Arasha, what if you just got the gold DS so that Faisal could get the Legend of Zelda game? And I was like, I can do that for him.
Right. I can make that sacrifice.
No, truly. Like, I remember being like, I'm a good person.
Right. And you're not paying for anything.
I can do that. Right. None of it was my money. Like, truly just being like, I can do that for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Mom, I can. They were like, great. So we'll take that. Although, you know what? Actually, I'm just realizing it. Why didn't he just take the gold DS?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And the game.
That seems as though like what should have happened. What did
then I could have gotten the pink DS.
What color DS did he get? Silver?
Red one.
Red?
But he didn't.
I see what happened because he wanted. Okay, I see what happened. He wanted the red one.
Yeah.
You wanted the pink one. But he wanted the red one and a game. And so this bundle, the game and the gold DS, went hand in hand. So it was like your mom was knocking out like two birds with one stone.
Right.
And forfeiting your desires over Faisal's.
Wow. We're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this.
Get your mom on the phone.
Oh, Sephora, you better come sit in this seat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe I'm like remembering a detail wrong. Like Faisal's going to text me and be like, I didn't get a DS. I just got the game. Like something like that has to be the explanation. But anyway, all that to say, I sacrificed something huge.
A gold DS sounds ugly.
It was actually really cool.
Okay.
I did like it. I was happy with the gold DS. I mean, obviously, I was just psyched to have the DS.
Right.
I remember I had gotten eventually. I got the Hannah Montana game.
I had that on Wii.
Fun.
I had that on Wii, and when I would play it, I would like. It was like I was Ready Player One. Like I was in that shit.
Yep. And you know, similar what I was in, Cooking Mama.
Don't get me started on
Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama. I remember the day I got Cooking Mama because I always was like the last of everyone to like get something. Like everyone would like get DSs for Christmas and like Cooking Mama, and then I'd get well, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but you know, I wouldn't get DS with Cooking Mama.
Exactly.
And I'd be like, I really want that. And I remember the day I did get it, I literally was like, this is like actually the best day of my life.
Ever.
Yeah. That game was so fun.
So fun. And truly, like, here's the thing, like a lot of people are like out there joking like Cooking Mama actually taught me how to cook and whatever. No, it didn't. I mean, at least it didn't teach me. I'm not retaining any of that shit. I'm like, yeah, chop the cucumber, whatever. I'm not bringing that to my adult life.
You don't cook in a real iron clad pan with a stylus?
I mean, I guess maybe subconsciously I'm bringing my Cooking Mama experience into my adult cooking, so maybe I'm wrong.
The only thing Cooking Mama gave me that I actually did take away was like rush, like panicking under rush pressure.
Exactly. Time management.
Right.
Yeah. Or like multitasking and stuff, or how to like flip a pan by just like jutting your arms out a little bit.
I remember the stir fry one.
Oh my gosh. Cooking Mama was huge.
I loved my DS. And Nolan had like the thick, chunky first generation DS that was silver.
Sure.
And then I got the glossy pink DS. And I think I like saved up enough money to buy like a secondhand one or something.
Ooh.
And
okay, spare.
Yes, I think I did that, and I spent a lot of time at GameStop as well growing up because my brother was like huge into video games, and I was huge into anything he was doing.
Same.
And I had that, and I had this game that I loved. That like when I was a kid, I remember the sensation of how it felt to play a video game where you like literally felt like you were in it. And it was this DS game about like running your own aquarium.
Oh.
And I famously love dolphins, so I thought that was so cool. I had that, and then I can't remember.
Nintendogs?
Never had Nintendogs.
Oh my god!
Was really jealous.
Nintendogs was so freaking fun, and there's like still the joke out there of just like everybody's Nintendogs are starving.
Yeah,
like they need to be fed. They need to go out on a walk and stuff like that. I remember taking that shit seriously. Like we would be at the grocery store, and I'd remember, and I'd be like, we have to go home.
Yeah.
I need my DS. And my parents would be like, no.
I played this really niche video game. I mean, it's probably not that niche. I mean, it's like, but it was like a
Mario Kart?
yeah, I don't know. It was on my like mom's like Dell laptop, and it was like a Nintendogs type game. It was just like taking care of a dog. But like at the time, like I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny though because like I remember my Game Boy Color. I had a Game Boy Color, and then I had my DS. And like famously, like I have my Switch and I play it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm 26 years old, and literally like when I go iPad baby mode, I'm playing my Switch, and I've decided that I love a cozy game. I love just like an easy cozy game. I'm playing a game right now called Thank Goodness You're Here, and I love it.
Ooh, oh my gosh, wait. I think I talked to you about It Takes Two, right?
Yeah, I want to get that for me and Bridge.
You guys would love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a fun, sweet game. If you have a partner or a bestie, a roommate, like anybody that you want to do a little 2-player game with, it's so fun.
Yeah.
And you like work together, and it's just such a great like it's like a teamwork game, so it's great if your partner is really competitive and gets very aggressive. It's also great like just to have something to do, but also be able to both be doing the same thing. Just like a fun activity. Love, love, love.
Yeah, I definitely want to get that. I watched a Dan and Phil playthrough of it, so I'm familiar.
Yes.
So let's talk about now moving out of 2000s nostalgic video games on like those. What about internet games? Were you on Club Penguin? Were you on RuneScape? Were you on, oh my God, Neopets?
Webkins.
Yeah.
Huge. You were not on Webkins?
I was on Webkins, but I enjoyed the Webkins in person. I liked the physical stuffed animals. I did not care for the platform.
Really?
But that's because I was on Club Penguin like saucing mamas up. Like I was like dressed as a boy, and I was like, come to my Iggy.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
like on like Webkins, I was like, what the hell is this? I can't type.
I was obsessed with Webkins. I definitely cried over at least like 4 to 5 Webkins like experiences of like being in Walgreens and like them having like a giant bin of Webkins and me begging my parents, like me being like, please, let me go to Webkins, and they'd be like, you have one, and I'd be like, but the kids at school have 500.
I think I had like I literally think I had like 50 Webkins.
I had one.
What was it?
A penguin. I know. And see, that's the thing. It's like, you know, obviously, like, growing up, like, since I didn't, like I was nowhere near, like, you know, privileged in a lot of cases. And so things like having just one Webkins, was in a very different way. Obviously, that's carried into my adulthood with, like, you know, being maybe a little bit more frugal or like in my behaviors with like money and stuff like that. But a bigger part of it was with valuing things. So because I only had one Webkins, I adored it. Like it was this one penguin, and I took it everywhere, and I like kept it close, and I just was like, this is my
the
one
penguin in my head.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I loved it so much because there was only one, you know? So in a way, it's kind of like if you do have a surplus of them, it kind of does maybe lessen the significance of each individual thing. And so often we are quantity based and being like, I need more.
Yeah, that was me. I was like, I need them all.
Yeah.
And I remember I would bring a duffel bag of my Webkins to daycare where I went, as would the other people. And we would do like Webkins trades. Or like we would like, I went to an in-home daycare, so it was like literally just at someone's house. And it was all like girls that I like grew up with and whatnot. And we would like go down into the basement and be like, this corner's my house and that corner is your house. And this is like my house, and then like this, like the center of the room is like the neighborhood, like where the store is and like whatever, and we'd have like this whole Webkins world, and it was like so immersive and imaginative. And like I said, we would trade, because I'll tell you what, Webkins knew what they were doing when they started making the small version Webkins, because that's when I started getting like anal about the fact that I was like, well, I need 2 pugs because I have the mini pug. I traded for the mini pug, and that can't be without 2 parents, so I'm gonna get another pug so I have a full family. My mom's like, we're broke.
No, like, but that is so real though, because us as kids, we're like, it's a necessity.
No, this
and
is
it's
important.
And it's simply the business corporation. Like, you can imagine them being in the meeting, being like, that'll make us money.
Yeah.
That's truly what Pebbles. That's what his name was.
Oh,
My penguin was Pebbles.
That's really cute.
I know. I loved him. I did also play Club Penguin a lot, though. My brother and I played Club Penguin. Disney Channel games on the internet.
Absolutely.
The pizza one from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yes.
Did you ever do that one?
Oh, the pizza delivery one?
The pizza
where it's like you
delivery
don't
one.
get caught or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. You gotta like go around Mr. Mosby and like pick up all the gems and stuff.
How about the Kim Possible game where Rufus is like putting cheese on the nachos?
Oh my god. Wait, and the Lilo and Stitch one where you have to like balance the sandwich
stacker.
I think I played Sandwich Stacker like 5 years ago. I found it somewhere illegally on the internet and I played it for like an hour.
That one is great. And if you get like rotten meat, it's all over.
The rotten meat.
That was at the era in which they would like do things like this on TV, and maybe I'm just dumb or something, but like remember that little yellow guy that was like the assistant of Jumba or whatever? He looked like, to me, he looked very similar to Stitch. He was yellow. He's the one that's stacking the sandwiches.
Oh,
and
right.
He was Jumba's like little like side guy. But he looked to me like Stitch a little, and I just remember like when I was a kid, I was like so unable to differentiate like people that were similar, like same with like Squidward and Squilliam. I'd be like, is that the same guy?
Oh, really?
I don't get it.
That's so funny.
Like I would get if people, I'm trying to think of like another one where like they would draw them the same and I'd be like, huh?
Oh, interesting. Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can come up with any other examples like that, but that is interesting. It's like the things in the details that we as kids miss.
Like blue and magenta and Blue's Clues. I'd be like, wait, so is that just blue and in a costume?
Right. And you actually don't understand.
It's literally like it's two people, dumbass.
Okay. Also, the Hannah Montana games on the Disney Channel website.
I wanted to be in her closet and her skin.
That was like a daily routine for me to go on and play the Hannah Montana games. And remember there was one with like the beachside too. Yeah. Rico's surf shack or something.
Something like this.
Something like that. We had to like serve drinks to everybody around, and I was like,
oh yes,
so good.
Wait, yes, I remember that.
Yeah,
there's that one, and then there was one where like you had to pick out like Hannah's outfit and get her like in a limo to a show or something.
Oh my god, I love that.
And like
one.
I took that shit seriously. Like I was an employee.
Oh, yeah, the show must go on.
Right. I'm like, all right, folks, let's gather in. We got to get Hannah to the show.
There was that one with Sweet Life of Zach and Cody where they had to put like the posters of their mom up in like the hotel.
Oh, in the levels and not get caught. They always just didn't want to get caught by Mr. Mosby. Huh?
Mr. Mosby was evil.
I think in Hannah Montana there was a nail game too.
Oh, no, I think that's a separate one.
Well, no, I know what you're thinking because you're thinking of My Scene. But there was a Hannah Montana one. But
I think you're right. I think I remember that.
I lived in My Scene.
As
well. I went to myscene.com a lot.
That one was like, awesome. Do you remember the bedroom makeover in that one too?
How could I?
Constantly doing new like layouts.
I did myscene.com and I loved like you could like do like the eyeshadow hair makeover, like all that. And then barbie.com loved. I can still hear in my head there's like a game that's like Babysit Chrissy, like the baby. And you would just click her and she would go, hey, hey, hey.
Oh my gosh. That kind of stuff just literally like lives in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of these games that we spent so many hours just like rotting in front of the computer.
Yeah.
But it's different. And this is what we were kind of talking about last night. It's different from like iPad games, you know? Like it's something else. It's not the same. And it's also just like we weren't playing that constantly.
Yeah.
And it also wasn't something that we could like pick up and take with us to the restaurant. Like this was just at home on the family computer, like in the corner of the game room or whatever. But it's not like, oh, we're going, let me pick up this like monitor and bring it with me.
I felt like the games that we were playing online when we were young, and this is what I said to you at dinner last night, it's like it inspired imagination because you had like 4 games. You could only play them for so long before you're like, okay, I've completed every combination of every way I could play this game.
Right.
And then you logged off and you're like, That like online game where I like did nails was really fun. Like I'm gonna go in my bathroom and play spa. Like you know,
I
like
loved playing spa, or, like
it
beauty
inspired.
salon.
Yeah,
you're right. Imagination. No, that I think is a huge thing that you said last night too. Like just the ability to be able to see like some media for sure. Like screens, they have definitely been around for since we were born. But there was a difference because we were able to watch and then go elsewhere and take the stuff that we were able to watch instead of just being glued to it at all times.
Yeah.
And then it affecting our attention span.
like a kid these days could pick up an iPad and watch one thing and just never stop. Like it's never ending content. Where
Right.
it's like where we had kind of a time limit, like
Yeah.
on ours. Let me ask you, did you ever play Toontown? Remember that?
Sounds familiar.
It was like when we were really young. It was like a Disney online game where you could dress up as like these Disney characters and you'd like go around and like throw pies in people's face.
I
never
don't think so.
I never played it, but I saw commercials for it on Disney Channel all the time and I was like, that looks awesome.
That does sound familiar. I feel like there were definitely some like random games that I'll never be able to like walk back to because they were just like something.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was on Cartoon Network's website.
Cool.
I always did. There were a couple like Ed and Eddie's. Like they had like some like lunch like food fight game. They had like a wrestling game. But the big one was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. They had this game where you could come up with your own imaginary friend. Like you made it and then you would like walk around and it's like in a way you would like take care of them or you'd like consistently go back to the game and there was like stuff to like build on and stuff. That game, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, and if anybody has it somehow, I will hole up in a cave for months and just play that.
Okay.
So freaking fun.
I never watched Cartoon Network. I've never even
really?
I've never even seen like Ed and Eddie, Cat Dog, like Hey Arnold.
Oh my gosh.
Like I've never watched Foster's Home. I've never even seen an episode, basically anything on Cartoon Network.
Wow, how interesting. So you're mostly Nickelodeon, Disney
Yeah,
Channel.
and I was very like I really wasn't even supposed to be watching Nickelodeon, but I just like did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like one of those, not to sound like a pick me, but like literally I was like one of those ones where if like SpongeBob was never on in my house until I was like old enough to come home from school and be on my own for a few hours. Then like I got into SpongeBob, but it was just something that was not allowed. But Disney was fine. What's it called?
Nick?
PBS. Like was fine. You know what's another game I loved on DisneyChannel.com was what was it called? Jake the American Dragon. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh.
It's like the American Dragon.
Wait.
And there was like a game where I don't know what happened, but it was a game and I liked it.
They were just better then.
Yeah.
Like those games were, and they also just like, things weren't behind paywalls, you know? You didn't have to pay extra to keep going or you didn't have to pay for extra costumes and stuff. It was just like,
vibes.
It was the vibes. Or it was like, keep working at the game and then you can earn enough to get there. Like you just had to continue to play it in order to earn it rather than get your parents' credit card and buy it.
Exactly. Now let me ask you, what was your method when you were playing Club Penguin? Like what are you doing? What's your vibe?
Okay, I loved being the secret agents, the detective. Remember when you could like do the mission or whatever? Isn't that something that you could do?
Oh my god, I this is vaguely coming back to me. I feel like that was like it was an event that would happen.
Right. Or was it like a career path?
No, you don't have you didn't really have careers, but I think they would have like little missions like every once in a while. That is coming back to me in a weird way.
I remember doing that. I also remember going to play the pizza game. Of course.
Candy version.
So freaking good.
Yeah.
So good.
Squirting that shit with chocolate syrup. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, but it was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely participated in some of those snowball fights. I would get a little fuzzy pet.
A puffle.
A puff.
Yeah. Did you care about
my
decorating
home?
your igloo? Did you have
of course
the membership?
I had the membership.
Perfect.
Oh, I had the membership.
Yeah.
I threw parties. I was always the host.
Yeah.
Remember when you could like have people like come over,
send like
and
a
stuff
postcard?
Like
I took that really seriously. Like, and if
Yeah.
I was like, I would like one. Do you remember like one person would arrive and you'd be like, "Hello,
Right.
welcome."
You were like,
to my Iggy, and then like you'd like be like, how are you? And they'd like disappear, and you'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Teaching us early on party etiquette.
Yeah.
Let people settle and then go talk to them.
Right. Literally,
Got it.
I got Irish goodbye in Club Penguin. How sad.
That's how we learned our social cues.
And I remember I'd be like at my computer and I'd be like, oh.
Yeah. You know what I also love to do, though, is before I got onto these games, get myself a little snacky poo.
I was just going to ask, what was your go-to after-school snack?
Okay. Well, this was both what I would bring to school and what I would have immediately after. Grips.
Oh.
Tell me you know grips.
Those are you showed me a picture of them the other day. I wasn't quite familiar with them.
That's right, because Logan and I had them, and you were like, I don't think I remember them.
Yeah.
Grips were like, it was like a packet, like it almost is like what a pack of like cashews or like almonds would come in these days. Like a thin, long pack. Inside was like little itty bitty, like, I don't know, like little cracker pieces. And they were different flavors. So there was the Grips, like Cheez-Its, which was like just Grips, like cheese, like little cheese crackers. And then there was one that was like cookie crumble. So it was like little like cookie pieces.
Okay.
And they were so freaking good. Like I would just like snap it open and I just.
Okay, I think I remember seeing the commercial on like Nickelodeon.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because I remember I mean, they still do this now, but in commercials in the 2000s especially, it would be like some kid like with their hand like out like this, and it's the most like seamless like package of something. Like they would be like, Go-Gurt! And it looks like it's just like levitating like in their hand.
Right.
I'm like, ugh.
Go-Gurt was huge.
Go-Gurt was big.
Danimals.
Danimals was big. I'm still waiting to win the Meet Dylan and Cole Sprouse sweepstakes.
If they're gonna release the winners soon. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
But I remember like cracking those open, downing that shit too.
There was Dylan and Cole Sprouse were like the spokesperson for Danimals for a while, and do you remember they did the regular ones, and then there was the Danimals squeezes.
Oh,
and it was just like a cup, and they'd be like, "Check this out, eat it way faster."
Right, and I'm like, I'm already going so fast.
Yeah.
I have a tummy ache.
I'll just take a spoon. Yeah, a Go-Gurt's crazy. Like if I were to eat a Go-Gurt right now, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
but like a kid, it takes you like 10 minutes.
Right, because it's like strawberry yogurt, and you're like taking your time. You know.
Let me ask you something. This just literally unlocked in my brain.
Okay.
I remember like when I was a kid. I was like obsessed with like I was trying to be like healthy. Like I always like try to do the healthy alternative. Thanks, America. Just let me live.
Right.
And I remember
Michelle Obama.
I remember seeing that like a healthy alternative to like butter and syrup on your waffles would be like to put like Greek yogurt on it or something. But I was a child, so like I didn't have that. And I remember I would make my Eggo waffles and put my Go-Gurt on it. Oh, is that crazy?
Well, your parents were probably like, oh.
They weren't there. No, just I literally was just like, that just came back, and I remember I loved when it got kind of soggy.
Oh, yummy. Okay, also Gushers.
Gushers were huge.
Gushers, like the 3-pack of like the Gushers, the fruit like roll up, and then the fruit by the foot, which was like the like roll out one.
And like the literal, okay, so many of our snacks that we were eating were so impractical, right? Like a literal just sheet of like a fruit roll up, and then they're like, stick it on your tongue and have a tattoo on your tongue, and then also you have a wet piece of like fruit roll up all over your face.
And also while it's getting on you, have fun with the drool that's going to drop down the sides of your mouth and ruin your fit.
Right, like here's how to eat it. Get it wet and rub it on your face, and then you'll have a black imprint on your tongue that looks like nothing.
But also, I thought that those were healthy.
Oh.
I was like, fruit.
Right.
Scam.
Right. Let's talk about cosmic brownies. You know, I was in Target the other day, and I literally was like staring at cosmic brownies, and I was like, I literally had like an internal dialogue for like 10 minutes where I was like, I'm an adult. I can buy these.
Right.
I can buy these. And then I was like, oh, I can't buy these.
But I don't want to.
I can't buy these.
I don't
And then I was like,
want to.
I could. I can't.
Yeah.
I want to.
There is something that like happens to you like inside looking at the packaging. Like the colors that they have selected for the little candy beads on top of the cosmic brownies is truly cosmic.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
magic, the way that it has been able to just stick to all of our brains.
I know someone who has a cosmic brownie wallet, and I literally was like, I could never have that. I'd eat it.
Oh my God.
I would
yeah,
eat it.
No,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Cosmic brownies. I remember, okay, we weren't very snacky in my house. I'll say that.
Okay,
Like,
so you didn't have a go-to after-school snack?
Well, my go-to after-school snack, I will say, was like I would take like an untoasted piece of like bread, and I'd put like cheese and some sort of lunch meat and mayo.
Okay.
And I'd like microwave it for like a minute.
Okay.
Not a minute, like whatever. And I'd have like a literal little horrible sandwich, but I liked it.
Yeah.
But we were not very snacky. Like we had stuff to eat, obviously, don't worry. But like
right.
I remember I had select friends where like I would go to their house and open up their snack cabinet and it would literally be like, oh, like fruit roll-ups, Hostess like snacks, chips,
Twinkies,
everything. Like I never had. We would get cosmic brownies, but it was like
yeah.
And we never had soda in my house. Never soda.
Interesting.
Never soda.
So, what's funny is my dad's love language is acts of service. And like quite literally, that's numbers 1 through 5. Like those are his acts. Those are his like love languages altogether.
Yeah.
So what he would do is what he still does is he just needs like some sort of like hint of what we like, my mom, my brother, and I, and then he continues to buy them in bulk for years. So like once I remember like he had gotten like some pretzels and I was like, Dad, I loved those pretzels. And he would bring home like the massive jars of pretzels and just like stack them in the pantry. Same thing with like Cheeto balls or cheese balls or whatever.
Right.
I ate them up all the time. So he'd just bring jars and jars of them. So much so that eventually I would be like, Dad, I don't like them anymore.
Right.
I'm having too
the
much.
maximum out for this lifetime.
Right. So I have like a picture of this, like it's this blue, or it has a blue lid, and it's a transparent jar full of cheese balls.
Oh yeah.
And it just lived in our pantry because I at first didn't have the heart to be like, Dad, please stop.
Yeah. Stop with the
buying
cheese
them.
balls.
Please, I just want a hug.
Just tell me you're proud. I don't need any more cheese balls.
I don't need pretzels. That is nostalgic for me.
Can I tell you a hot take of mine? This might be really controversial.
Oh boy.
When it comes to snacks, like I am you'll never catch me eating like goldfish, Cheez-Its, what's another like pot? Like I'm not in on it. I'm not
Like today
and always. I've been like this my whole life. Like if I got goldfish, I'd be like, what a lame ass, what is this?
Interesting.
No, I'm just not like a cracker kind of person, I suppose.
Sure. So what are your snacks of choice?
Perhaps a granola bar.
Okay. Love that.
Perhaps some fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps like snacks today and in childhood.
Yeah.
I don't know, like cheese. Like I don't.
Cheese and crackers a little bit. You know, honestly, I kind of relate to you. I
Yeah.
also don't like. I used to, for sure, when I was a kid, and I wasn't like truly that conscious of like what was going into my body.
Uncrustable.
For sure. But I'd constantly grab bags of Cheetos and like Lay's chips and Cheez-Its. I loved that stuff. But I think probably once I started getting into high school and college, I definitely ditched snacks because I was like, and I still like, I agree with you to this day. I don't get like bags of chips at grocery stores. I just don't really need to pull up and like on the couch and just be like snacking on them because then I just feel like I'd never stop.
I don't feel that I snack.
Yeah.
I don't feel that I snack. And if I snack, it's like it's
Fruit.
like a mini meal. Yeah, it's like I don't feel that I snack.
I'm
Now,
with you there.
Let me ask you this because we're running low on time. Such a pivotal part of the 2000s was fashion.
Ooh.
Let's talk fashion.
Okay.
What were you wearing? Where were you shopping? What was your vibe? Who was your
Absolutely.
fashion icons?
So the big store that stands out for me is Justice.
Of course.
Justice, that
That
monkey. That
That
monkey. That monkey actually owned me.
He was
like
my master.
I was property of that
that
monkey
monkey.
with the big ass eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tell me what to do.
And when you were like a kid and you would wear like, it was like a flex, like now how people wear like brands and stuff. You'd be like, yeah, I got a shirt from Justice. Monkey.
Just
Monkey's
big
on
ass fucking monkey on my chest. Literally, again, tears over that monkey.
Yeah.
So many times I would be at Justice being like, bullies.
We're doing plaid. We're doing plaid capris. We're doing gauchos. We're doing brown gauchos with a turquoise shirt with a goddamn monkey on it.
Capris is huge.
Can I tell you, this just brought up a memory for me. I remember I got invited to a birthday party at Justice. And I, once again, was a huge loser when I was growing up. So to be invited to anything was a privilege and an honor. And I was like, I have to like look pretty. This is so sad. Like, I was like, I have to look like pretty, like, because I'm going to this birthday party with all these girls and I don't know them. And it's an opportunity for me to make new friends. So I did like my makeup. And I remember I like had this little like hair coloring thing. So I did like color my hair like pink, like here, you know? And I showed up and all of them, I'll never forget, they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, what? And they were like, this is a makeover party. Why are you wearing makeup? You're gonna get your makeup done here. Like, you might as well not even be here. You already did your makeup. And I was humiliated. I was
Mean girls. I
was like, I could take it off. And they're like, no, don't bother. I was like, oh my God.
Literally, no, that is like not to go back on like bullies and like tough situations, but you just unlocked for me too. I remember we had a middle school dance. And I remember I wore this like dress that I had worn for New Year's, but I didn't shave my legs.
Why would you?
Because I was a sixth grader.
Right.
So I didn't shave my legs. And like naturally, like my, like for certain people, like your arm hair and like your leg hair and stuff, like it grows faster and longer sometimes.
Hell yeah.
Particularly a lot of times for Indian women.
Right.
So I remember like I was like a strapless, or not strapless, but like a
Look at this.
yeah, like a what is this called?
Tank, like a tank, like just a tank?
A tank dress?
Because I would say a spaghetti strap versus a tank, like a tank top.
Yeah. Oh, it was sleeveless. That's what I mean to say.
Oh, okay.
A sleeveless dress. Yes. And
Wait,
it
was a tube?
It was no, like it had a strap.
I'm with you.
Yes, just like a regular like tank dress.
Got it. I'm with you.
Yes, but I remember I changed and then I stepped out into the lobby and one girl that I like went to school with just came over and she goes, "You're hairy." I was like, yeah, you're right.
It's so...
You're right. And I went home.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so lame. I wish I could
so
go back
funny
to my...
now thinking about it.
If I could...
You're hairy.
You're hairy.
I was like, period. I'm going to go home.
I'll get out. I'm sorry. I'll get out of here.
I literally went home. I think I changed into jeans and came back to the dance. And I was like, I'm just going to wear pants and a long sleeve shirt.
I wish I could go back in time to myself. Like, maybe not when I was like late middle school or high school, because that's when you start like turning into like a functioning human in society and you should be like cognizant of like people's feelings around you. But I wish I could go back to myself when I was like kindergarten through 5th grade and like bend down and be like, listen, bitch, you got to start hurting some feelings. Like you're getting eaten alive out there.
Right.
If someone says, why'd you show up wearing makeup? Say, because I'm better than you.
Right. No, honestly, like I wish that I was able to clap back. Like,
right.
You're hairy, like so are you.
Right. You're hairy. Well, you're bald. That's so funny. Imagine someone says that about your legs. You're hairy. You're literally bald.
You're naked on your skin.
You're
so.
bald. I can see your clammy legs.
I can see your epidermis.
Yeah.
Did you ever say that to anybody?
Not why. In what literal situation would I have ever said that?
Okay. Well, hear me out. It was like literally somebody told me once. They were like, "This is a really good like insult to somebody. Like, go to somebody and be like, I can see your epidermis," and then they get like all conscious. But then you're over there like your epidermis is your skin.
Oh. No, I don't think
so
I ever
got
used
you.
that one.
So is that a good comeback?
Whatever made you loser.
That was major.
I would do that to myself like in the mirror.
That was major.
I will say when I got to middle school, it was for me, I remember I went to every hair salon. I went and I tried to get every haircut. All I wanted was like the
Oh.
bangs that like swooped across like here.
Had that.
I wanted that so bad, and no one ever seemed to get my vision. And now I understand that the girls on Tumblr, I was so obsessed with, like, I wanted to be seen so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I wanted that vibe. And now I understand that people would, I think they would like cut side bangs and then brush them the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
Right.
So I was just like, why is it not doing what I want? I want to put a bow right here at the corner of my eye.
Oh my God.
With like my bangs here.
Wait, you unlocked something in me too. I was obsessed with bows. But I would wear them incorrectly. Like I wouldn't actually use them to swoop my hair back. I would just put them on the other side, just on my head.
Oh, me too. I would do that too. You just put it like right here and you're like, accessory.
Yeah. What would you, you were about to like say, it sounded like you were about to say like XOXO. Because I remember I used to say that all the time.
RAR
too.
XD.
RAR, that's what it is.
RAR XD.
RAR XD.
I was huge on Tumblr.
Yeah.
I loved Tumblr, which was bad. I was like on Tumblr at a time that people were like I would just be like, oh my God, funny One Direction meme. Oh, look at this, like fall vibes. Oh my God, that's a picture of someone in their cut wrists.
Right. Honestly, Pinterest is the new Tumblr, and it's with an algorithm. So it's a little bit more of like, here you go. These are fun things for you to look at.
I saw some stuff on Tumblr that I till this day remember, and that were gruesome and in absolute sane.
Yeah.
And I was like in 5th grade, 6th grade, literally like being like, oh my God, Harry Styles. Whoa, like, you know,
the images.
So unregulated. The images are haunting.
Literally, I feel like we could go on. Like,
know.
where did time go? We just like actually snowballed into the 2000s. We didn't even get to touch like pop culture, like
I was
music
just gonna say, like,
stuff.
I want to talk Britney, I want to talk Christina, I want to talk
my
the
God.
Jonas Brothers.
The Jonas Brothers. Okay, I think we need to do a part 2.
I love Jonas. I would love a part 2
Part
of this, actually.
2000s. We can do that.
Said I've been to the year 3000.
Literally, I need to discuss all of that. I need to get into High School Musical. I have not even touched Big Time Rush.
When it, oh my God,
Justin Bieber.
that was one of the first things we ever bonded over. Big Time Rush.
Big Time Rush, baby.
Oh my God.
So I need to discuss literally all of that with you. So that'll be in part 2, where we touch maybe more of that stuff.
Sure.
The last thing that I'm going to say, though, before we move on to a spitball, Vera Bradley.
Wasn't for me. Was not for me.
I think it was maybe it was huger in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was
huge.
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive. And again, spent many, many tears over Vera Bradley. Begging my parents to get me the duffel bag.
Yeah.
Everybody in school had like the laptop bag from Vera Bradley. And I had a freaking JanSport one like an idiot.
Right.
And I was begging my parents for it. And I remember they made me wait. Eventually, I got the Vera Bradley backpack, and everybody hopped onto something called the John Hart backpack, which was about $100 more expensive.
Sure.
And I said, well, never getting that backpack, so it looks like I'm going to use my Vera Bradley one and be a stupid idiot.
It's so crazy how when you're that age, you feel as though like it's like indisputable. You have to keep up with the trends. Like you cannot get left behind.
Oh yeah.
I will say I'm from Annapolis, Maryland. So like we're the capital of like preppiness. And I never got into the culture there of like Vineyard Vines or Sperry's. And I certainly was never into Vera Bradley. I was always, since the time I was a kid, I was a little bit more on the edgy, angsty kind of style. People would make fun of me because it's like when they were wearing like Sperry's, I was wearing like combat boots, which is like whatever. But yeah, I was not, Vera Bradley was not my thing. And I was like, this bag looks like a blanket.
No, I was 1000% like looking for direction from my peers.
Yeah, that's fair.
And unfortunately, consistently falling behind because I was not at the economic class that they all were at.
Yeah.
Like quite frankly, my family, like we immigrated.
Yeah.
So we were all like, I know you have said this before too, like we were also moving around. Like my entire elementary school experience was me moving apartment to apartment.
Yeah.
Eventually reaching the house that we are in now when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
But like I remember even when I did get Sperry's, like we got the ones at DSW that were on sale that like were like pink and not the ones that everybody had. So it was like I didn't have a chance to be cool because I couldn't wear expensive things and brand names. And so that immediately isolated me. Again, making me feel like that outsider, but also giving everybody that reason to be like, she is so different. She's not wearing what we're wearing. She's like off brand with everything that she is wearing. She clearly looks very different than us. So I was like an easy target in school.
That is something we can dive into because I could just keep this conversation going, but there was nothing worse than like when you were like, I want to get this pair of shoes so like I fit in with everyone, and then like your parents would end up getting you like maybe a pair of shoes from the same brand but not quite the style you wanted, and you'd be like,
yeah,
no. But then it's like you grow up and you become an adult and you realize like how hard your parents were trying.
Oh, of course. And
it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but also like, you know, like there's also the difference of like having understood maybe like what I went through, at least going to school here, versus my parents who grew up in India, of course. Like they didn't necessarily go through the exact same stuff of like the branding and stuff that exists over here in America and more of like the capitalist way.
Yeah.
So I feel like I am going to remember those experiences when I'm older and have kids of my own and be able to be like, okay, what is the very specific thing that you need for school?
Sure.
Because it is a little bit more delicate. And again, that's not a fault to my parents. It's more just like that's something that they just simply would not have known. It's not something that they went through. So why would they be like, why do you need to have this specific pair of sparkly Toms?
Right.
What
should we spitball? We gotta get out of here.
Okay. How about like what is the thing that you miss the most from the 2000s? Or if you could like bring something and extend it into today and let it continue to be a part of the culture of the 2020s.
Oh my God.
Right.
Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah. Because cosmic brownies, we already have them.
We have them.
They've stuck around.
What's something that's like not really around anymore? Oh boy. Do you have an idea?
I just was toying with the monkey. I was like, do I want that justice like logo? Like, I don't know, because part of it could also be like very healing if that stuff like sticks around. Like, you know, like Converse kind of like came back. Crocs came back,
right.
You know? Those things became trendy again. So maybe it's more of like, what would you want to like resurface for something to be like cool again?
I don't know whether this is like a good answer, but it's like all I can think of right now. I feel like I miss the days, like people are still going to the movies, right? Like we go to the movies all the time. But and like people are still fans of things, but like there has not been a phenomenon that I'm aware of or have taken part in since that was like Harry Potter, Twilight, and Hunger Games in a long time. And I miss how it felt to like get to the movie theater and be like, the new Twilight is here.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
And literally like everyone's like a midnight showing and everyone's like it's a concert or something.
As a part of like a saga.
Yeah. I went to all the midnight releases of Harry Potter. I read all the Twilight books. I was huge on Twilight. I went to all the Twilight premieres, like, you know, like when it released. But now it's like, we still do that, right? Like I get my tickets in advance a lot of times for like Marvel movies, or like literally this morning at 5:30 a.m. Jitty got our tickets to Wicked.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, it still happens where you get stuff that you're excited about, but it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
People aren't like stoked about things.
Yeah.
Bring excitement into the 2020s.
No, you're right, because there's a lot of stimulation going on already. I think I'm going to choose, I know we didn't get to talk about him that much, I'm going to choose Justin Bieber. I wish that like Justin Bieber would almost come back with like another, like how Taylor did her Eras tour. If Justin or Miley Cyrus did an Eras tour.
If Miley Cyrus is doing an Eras tour, I'm
selling my car.
I'm not front row, I'm backstage.
Right.
And I'm being arrested.
Okay, I'm so glad that you feel this way too, because like,
I love her.
If it's gonna happen, like I'm ready.
Oh, me too. We go together.
I
love Miley Cyrus.
We take out a loan and we're there.
Yeah.
Like
we dress up as Billy Wright. Oh, well, I guess she wouldn't let him in.
Right. Exactly.
So we don't dress up like
maybe
him.
as Dolly. Aunt Dolly.
Aunt Dolly.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Because I finna be in the pit.
Wait, who played her mom? Was it Demi Moore?
No, I'm thinking of her name on Jane the Virgin. Brooke Shields?
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Okay.
Brooke Shields? No, because she was like a spoof of her name on Jane the Virgin.
Oh.
River Fields. And
that's
she's Brooke
funny.
Shields. Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to say her character name. So that's what I'm bringing.
Sure.
Miley or Justin's Eras tour, and I'm going.
Sure. All right, well, thanks for tuning in to this 2000 spectacular of Spitball.
What a healing, journey, even though we talked about our bullies.
What a healing journey. If you bully me, I am still harboring
feel-good
childhood
episode.
trauma, so be careful.
Oh, yeah, if you bullied us and you're watching this,
look at
you're
us
a ball.
now.
You're a ball. And
Yeah.
that's an honor. And we forgive you because...
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm-
I forgive you for me.
I forgive you.
Yeah. We forgive you. We forgive you in the way that life goes on and we all make mistakes.
I don't forgive Arasha's bullies. Y'all have to go through me.
You're so sweet. All right. Let us know if you guys do want to see that part 2 for the 2000s episode, because again, we have much to delve into.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, we will see you next Monday.
Yes.
On Spitball.
And leave a review.
Leave a
Leave a
review.
like.
Leave a rate.
Leave a comment.
Leave a rate, date, hate, and a
Subscribe.
TBH.
We're so close to 10,000 subscribers. If you are watching this right now and you haven't subscribed, click the button.
Just subs. Just
sub.
sub. Just sub.
Just sub.
Just sub.
Come on,
If
guys.
not for us, for the monkey. For the fucking monkey. We're gonna put images of the monkey in this episode so that everyone can enjoy. Thank you so much. Bye bye.